Ahoy people, Vaniverse from the VaniverseGaming channel here with another video on Divinity Original Sin 2. Today's video I'm going to cover the Huntsman tree. I'm going to give you the 10 abilities that I like and I use most of the time, all the time, and then the 5 abilities that, they're good, they serve a purpose, they're just not in my top 10. Again, everything is up to opinion and interpretation, so please leave any comments below if there's some information here that you think is incorrect, or if you want to add to it. I answer all comments from the community as long as they're constructive. Also, like this video if you like it and found it helpful, and then sub to the channel, bottom right hand corner. Check out all my videos on Divinity Original Sin 2, as well as all the other games that I've made videos on. So let's get started here. Here are my top 10. I break them out based on how many points in Huntsman it costs to be able to learn the spell, and then I'll give you the 5 that I don't use and explain kind of why I don't use them. So the first 3 abilities we're going to discuss are First Aid, Pin Down, and Ricochet. These are all 1 point Huntsman abilities, which means you only need to put 1 point in Huntsman in order to use them. And they all serve a purpose and are, in my opinion, worth keeping slotted on your bar if you're going to be a Huntsman. So the first one's First Aid. First Aid is a very brief heal, 579. It does more damage than Hydrosophist in 1 turn, but it also only gets 1 turn, where the Hydrosophist ability is over several turns, so in the end it actually heals you for more. The good thing about First Aid is it cures a lot of debuffs: crippled, knockdown, blind, silence, bleeding, burning, poison, and disease. And at 1 AP cost to use, it's just nice to have on your bar. It comes in handy with the little heal plus all the debuff removals. I just keep it on my bar and I've used it quite often. The next one point in Huntsman ability I'm going to talk about is Pin Down. Pin Down does a significant amount of damage, especially early on in the game. It does cost you 3 ability points, but 270 to 332 damage. Again, this is my level. You'll see how it stacks up to the other abilities. And then basically it prevents a target from moving for 1 turn. So it does have a 3-turn cooldown, but the 3 AP, yeah, it's a little expensive. But it's worth it for the damage and 1 turn of a creature not being able to move. The next 1 point ability that I'd talk about here is Ricochet. Ricochet basically does 203 to 249 physical damage and then finds another target within 5 meters and forks up to 2 times. So basically you can hit up to 3 targets for 203 to 249 damage, depending on where they're standing next to each other, as long as they're within a 5-meter radius. So this is a nice ability to do damage to several targets. It's a nice ability to, if you can't reach a target, you can shoot one and have it ricochet to the one that you maybe want to hit to finish them off if they tried to run away. It has some good uses. It only costs 2 ability points to cast, and it's pretty much a bread and butter ability, especially early on in the game. Now, there is a 1 point Huntsman ability I don't use, and that's Elemental Arrowheads. It lasts for 1 turn, and basically you can pick up an element around you and change your arrow to match that element for 1 turn. To me, I just don't think it's worth putting on your bar. For 1 turn, it could have an effect, like you could have oil and you get a fire arrow. Huntsman is designed to be physical damage, so I don't really use it nor slot it on my bar. So now let's get into the 2-point Huntsman abilities. You need 2 points in Huntsman in order to cast these. And the first one is Tactical Retreat. Now, Tactical Retreat is a must-have, especially for a Huntsman. The Huntsman tree, if you have the height advantage, the elevation on somebody, you gain additional damage based on how much elevation you have compared to them. And the more points in Huntsman, the larger the damage. So Tactical Retreat is a must-have, where you can pretty much teleport away from anywhere into a different location. This is just basically used throughout the game to give yourself elevation, which increases your damage and your range. The next ability is Barrage. Barrage fires 3 arrows at 3 targets of your choice and deals 135 to 166 damage. You can fire 3 arrows at 3 different targets, or you can fire 3 arrows at the same target. So if you do this, all 3 arrows, same target, it actually does more damage than Pin Down, but you can spread it out to finish people off if you'd like. I usually just use it on 1 target for the mass amount of damage that it does. Good ability to have, 3 AP to cast, but 3-turn cooldown. It's very similar to Pin Down in both damage and how many turns it takes. So it's kind of like if you spread it out, it's similar to Ricochet. If you hit one target, it's similar to Pin Down. The next ability is Marksman Fang. This is pretty much your bread and butter ability as a Huntsman. Basically, it does 274 to 338 damage, and you do not have to go through physical armor first. So if you have someone who has a lot of physical armor, you've pretty much removed his magic armor, and you're doing magic damage to him, you can still shoot him for this, do the 338, bypass the physical armor altogether. And given it only costs 2 AP to cast and it has a 2-turn cooldown, you use this ability a lot. It's a great ability to have. The next ability is Ballistic Shot. I really, really like this ability. I use it quite often. It's a shot that deals 225 to 276 physical damage, and you receive a 5% bonus damage per 1 meter distant to target. So again, let me just clarify, the damage is based on my level. Obviously, it's going to be less when you first start out. The point is in comparison to the other abilities, it does a little bit less damage, but then you get a 5% bonus for every meter distance. And so when you get up on higher elevation with Tactical Retreat, then you can shoot further and get more damage out of this ability, which is really nice. Also, you can combine this with this Farsight, which increases your range by 3 meters, which also increases the damage, but at the cost of 1 source point and 1 ability point. I don't have this in my top 10 because I just think 1 source point is a little much to increase your range by 3 meters. So that's why it's over here. But in conjunction with Ballistic Shot, it can give you an extra 15% damage, which you could probably build and make a pretty decent build using the two together and do enough damage to take someone out of the fight. The last ability that costs 2 Huntsmen is Sky Shot. Basically, you are giving yourself the elevation bonus without being at an elevation. So like right now you can see there's nowhere I could jump with my Tactical Retreat in order to give me an elevation bonus. But if I were to use Sky Shot on them, I jump in the air and it gives me the elevation bonus standing directly on the ground. So it costs 2 AP to use. It does decent damage, but the ability to gain the bonus damage from the elevation is worth it. It pretty much puts it on par with some of your other abilities. Now, there are some other level 3s that I don't use in also with Farsight. One is Glitter Dust. Target is marked. It decreases their ability to dodge and prevents targets from going invisible. The increase to dodge is kind of nice, but I haven't really had a lot of issues where the enemies are dodging my attacks very often unless they have on like evasive R. So I don't really think it's a big deal to have. That's why I don't use it. The other one is Aerospray. Now, Aerospray in the original Divinity Original Sin, the first one was like the best ability to have on a Huntsman. You could stand right in front of somebody and use this, and they would get hit with every single arrow, and it would just, big targets, it would just wipe them out. I don't seem to have the same luck with this. If other people have, please comment below, but I just haven't, so I don't really use it that much because it costs a source point, and I use the 3 source point ability, so it's just not in my top 5. So that goes through the Huntsman that costs 2 Huntsman points as well as the 5 abilities I don't use. I didn't talk about Reactive Shot, but Reactive Shot basically, it puts a circle on the ground and anyone moves in that circle in 1 turn, they take damage. Again, for 2 AP, slot it on there where if someone moves in 1 round, you get 1 extra shot on them. It's not worth slotting in my opinion, and that's why I have it over here. If other people disagree, please post in the comments below on why you use it and what benefit you get from it, but I haven't seen any since I've been playing. So the other level 3 Huntsman ability that's really, really nice, or the only level 3 Huntsman ability that I really like, is Assassinate. And basically, the damage is nice, 258 to 318, but if you perform it from stealth, you gain a 50% damage increase. So this is a really nice ability to have because you can kind of set it up where you maybe do a tactical retreat, get up on some elevation, stay out of the fight, go stealth, and then open up on somebody for some massive damage right before the fight starts. Or, it's one of those things where if you want to go invisible and then get out of the view and then go stealth and then use Assassinate, you can take out a target. It just has a lot of good abilities. I use it pretty much every fight. There's always a way to get stealth and shoot somebody. But In any event, I really like it. Other people might not, but I just see a lot of benefit from it. And the last ability we're going to talk about is Arrow Storm. This is by far the best Huntsman ability. You have to have 5 points in Huntsman to use it. It costs 3 source points to use. But basically, it's similar to Arrow Spray, but all 16 arrows fall from the sky. They really can't be dodged. They do 225 to 276, where this only did 90 to 111. And it's just devastating to do this on a battlefield. I love it. And if you go with Polymorph, you know, you can get this ability that makes all of your source abilities cost no source points. So it's a really nice in conjunction, because this is every 2 turns. So you can actually use it twice in one fight, depending on how you use some of your other abilities in conjunction. We'll get into builds a little bit later. I just want to cover all the different trees first, go over the abilities, and then hopefully soon, if time permits, make some build videos as well. So that's pretty much the Huntsman tree. The 10 abilities, why I like them. The 5 abilities, why I don't like them. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was helpful. Please leave your comments below. Sub to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Give it a like if you liked it. This is Vaniverse from the Vaniverse Gaming channel. I appreciate you guys watching, all the feedback and all the support. Have a good day. Cheers. Peace out.